Well, good morning, everybody. It's November 11th, 2024, and the favorite time of everyone's week, I'm sure, because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody. My name's Paul.
Good morning, this is Bev.
Good morning, Bev. Welcome
Good morning,
to
Paul.
11:11. It's 11:11
I know.
today.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Those who
Yep.
are into the little numbers, every time you turn to the clock and it goes 11:11, you're like, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? How come I keep seeing that? Good
Yeah.
question, but we're not going to talk about that today.
Nope. That's not what we're talking about
But we are
today.
going to talk about another double double number, and we're going to talk about elated or distressed. Perfect little topic.
Yeah.
As we all know, here in the United States of America, we had an election this past week, and for many, it's brought a global dialogue. This is not just a dialogue that's happened here in this country; it's a global dialogue, and it's truly what we have seen an opportunity to acknowledge feelings within us. So we
Yeah.
want to go over that whether you're elated or distressed, whether you have tears of despondency or tears of joy, either one of those other ends of the poles and everything in between has an effect on our nervous system. And that's what we want to
Hmm.
talk about in relation to biotouch. Uh,
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's
Which
a,
creates stress,
yeah.
anxiety.
Either way, I mean, even if
Either
you're
way.
if you're pro, if you're all excited, oh yeah, it turned our way, the way we wanted it. That's creating a reverberation on your system,
Right.
and we want to show you before we go further into this. Just relate this to the research that happened with Dr. Kenna Stevenson. Remember when we did that, and just heard from her recently too. Very interesting.
Oh,
Yes. Uh, the the reverberations on the planet, as we're going to talk about here, has really brought biotouch to the forefront as far as our purpose here on the planet. But let's start with the
okay.
research, okay? Again, notice here all the stressors in our life, and we can put politics, voting, socioeconomics, those are all in there. Emotions uh, create what we call accelerated aging pathways, chronic stress. And those chronic stressors in our life uh, work on our cortisol dysregulation and immune dysregulation, which then turns into things like dementia, cardiovascular disease, infection, tumors, which Dr. Stevenson said are on the upswing. Mood disorders, obesity, and if you put biotouch into that stress cycle, you actually improve interleukin 12 levels, which is an immune system function, and you improve circadian pattern of cortisol release, stress releasers. It levels out our stress hormones. That's what's happening, folks.
I know. Well, I think you brought up a good point. This is just what's going on in this country is going on in every country. It's a human condition.
Yes.
Just so happened that we had an election, but on a daily basis, people are either elated or distressed. Unfortunately, the elation doesn't last that long. It's kind of temporary, but the distress is being felt at deeper levels more constantly and more it's like I said, it's a global issue that we are here to do, and this foundation is fundamentally what? A global educational foundation. Our purpose here is to get this to as many people in the world as we possibly can. And so, our work and our direction is going to be mandated by what humanity is really requiring. And there's so much fear and separateness. And as you and I both know, you just showed the stress chart from Kenna. This is a human condition, and BioTouch is here to address all of that for humanity.
Correct.
It's one of the things that is here now. for humanity to become aware of and to access.
And what's nice about this sharing of BioTouch is it's probably as neutral as you can get. There's no
Yeah.
philosophy involved. There's no belief system. It's strictly taking the two fingers, the index and middle finger of your most dominant hand, and touching someone lightly in probably the most powerful place of our body, even anatomically, just below the breastbone in that solar plexus area, and just to the left
Yep.
of the big bone, which they say the vagus nerve is. And you can get into a lot of anatomical stuff with that. But what's most important is it becomes what we talk about, the golden thread in our relationship with other people, because it's based on just love.
Yep. Yep. That's what's in the offing through all of these times, right? Because we have said this many times, BioTouch is an equalizer. That's what love is. Love is the great equalizer. And the fact that BioTouch can put that into action just by using those first two fingers and touching lightly on the skin, another human being. See, this is part of the process of our awareness as a group, that we have been allowed ourselves to come apart,
Right.
which is not our innate selves. Our innate selves are loving beings who care, share, take care of the planet and each other. This is what is starting to reverberate in many, many parts of the world. So I am heartfelt in that. I am um, looking forward to this foundation participating in that unfolding
And so,
of just loving
yes.
each other.
And our mandate is to share this with everyone freely and get all of you to practice it at home also. It's not that everybody will agree with it. I mean, so it's really interesting. So this
Yeah,
tension comes out at this time, right?
yeah,
And the
right.
foundation all of a sudden has seen we're so connected now. The internet, the
Yeah.
Twitters, the TikToks, everything. You can't get away from it any longer. And just in the past week, just since that election, the
Right.
test for this organization has come forward. We had
Yep.
some posts of people who just, oh no, this is it. Oh, we can't, we were forced this upon us in the school, and all of a sudden, that was 20 years ago or something.
Yeah,
People
20
are
years
coming
ago.
forward and going, oh, I never did agree with this. And at the exact same moment, you talk about polarities here. At the exact same time that people are negating this whole idea of biotouch, we have an article in Germany put out in a magazine of which almost the next day 250 manuals were sold
Annuals.
in Germany.
Right.
And the
I'll tell you.
very next day after that, we had the most generous contribution, and I'm going to say her name, from an Elizabeth Silverworth in honor of her mother, Dolores, because she feels, quote, the butterfly, BioTouch is the butterfly touch that transforms life and keeps everyone feeling better.
Oh, that's it.
You
I love
know,
it.
those kinds of things in when the tension is so great and that we're able to sit back and watch the story unfold shows me, and Bev and I were talking about this before the show too, how important, as Bev has said over and over, biotouch is a divine idea whose time has come. And the beauty of this stress factor that's happening, the time has come.
The time has come. You're talking about those dichotomies. And we were saying before, this is inherent in just being in the physical world. What has to happen is, in this time of elation or distress, is that we can actually say, okay, I recognize both sides of myself and this great group called humanity. I recognize the love and the hate and the joy and the pain and the fear and the this and the that, black and white, all that stuff. I see that. But I choose to stand at the middle point, a point of peace. And in that recognition of my own humanity, have the self-awareness to be okay with all of that, to actually become a point of peace, a great equalizer for right human relationships. This is what we are all wanting, deeply wanting. And I have often thought that one of the great ways that that can be accomplished is by practicing biotouch in our lives. Because we have said over and over that it begins with our own self-awareness of all of those parts of ourselves that are fighting with each other, even inside of our own selves. There's this, back and forth, these opposites, these polarities, whatever you want to call them. We are bombarded with them on a daily basis, right?
Right. No.
But to just be for a moment in the presence of a brother or a sister and to stand with each other in deeply caring in that moment. This is the beginning of liberation from, the need to be right, or the you're this or you're not this. I had a teacher once that said, love is about accepting everyone for who they are and who they are not.
Right on. And that's where BioTouch meets people. And it allows us to be in relationship, even for just a moment.
Just a
I,
moment.
I had a dear friend, Lou, remember Lou Epstein, and he
Yeah.
always said, just say I forgive you. And in the Ted Lasso movie, he said that to Jamie Tart. Just forgive your father. Oh no, I could never do that. He says forgiveness is not for him, it's for you. It's for
For
us.
you.
Forgiveness is
Yeah.
for us. It frees us.
Yeah.
BioTouch is that way to practice that freedom for ourselves. The minute I touch someone with BioTouch, and just start with the family. We're not talking about going out and
Oh,
opening a
yeah.
center, becoming a certified
No.
practitioner. It's just about starting with the family. And then if you move into your community or just your friends, you're at a party and somebody's having an allergic attack, you can do something,
You
you know?
can.
And
You
then
did.
yeah, and then you find out the more you do it, the more you're able to listen. You're able to
Yeah.
hear the other side, to understand the other side. You don't have this is not about
You
agreeing
don't
with
have
one
to
another.
agree. Right.
Yes,
Right.
it's just about listening and understanding, and you do that in love. And BioTouch is that expression to be able to do that.
That's it.
I mean, how many people have we done BioTouch with throughout these decades that I might not agree with them? A, they don't have really any idea about my philosophy or my particular belief system because I never bring it up. In 35 years of running the organization, I've never really brought up. People are like, well, what do you really believe? Well, I believe in BioTouch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go.
If I
That's a
have to have a
perfect
belief system,
belief.
right,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and even that I don't believe in because I can't believe it's going to work again. So,
You do. Like, huh? What?
so it's not even about. I guess that's another part of BioTouch. It's not about belief system.
Right.
It's just
Not at
about,
all.
as you just said, it's just about putting love into action. You don't have to believe in it. You don't have to look for a result. You
No.
just do it. It takes you just to do the greeting 30 seconds for you to do it with someone and them to do it with you. That's a revolutionary thought. And it's
That's the cutting
the
edge.
cutting edge.
But that's what is required in these times.
Yes. Yes.
It's a challenge. BioTouch is here to say, oh boy, I this is going to probably grate against, it's going to reversing that wheel and it's going to go against the grain because it It's simple. It doesn't cost anything. It holds the greatest divine idea called love. Everybody can do it. On and on and on. And this is like exactly what's going on in the world. A turning, a turning into a new, and yet it's not new. That's always been held within us. It's like a cracking open, right?
Right.
Biotouch can crack us open into, oh, I've always been this. I've always been love. I've always had that within me. Yeah.
So it's so easy, which is why we're here every week sharing this. But if you need more information, you can go to the website justtouch.com. And then if you have any questions, any comments, any disagreements, any agreements, we don't care. Let's create a dialogue. Let's
Right.
bring a movement together of people who have differing opinions, and yet when it comes down to it and you just do the touch, all of that goes away. Just in
Well,
that
this is
moment
why
of
we say
touch,
biotouch is a revolution of love. That's what it is.
whose time has come. And so
Yep.
we're asking all of you to join with us by just doing the touch. If you have a few
Yeah.
extra bucks
Just
to help support the organization to keep doing this YouTube stuff and video stuff to keep a center going, that's great too. We can always use that to pay the bills. But we're just asking you to reach out and touch another human being with this BioTouch technique. Just try it. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't
true.
hurt anybody. You can't create dis-ease. You can't create stress. So if you have a loved one who's stressed, not knowing how to take these results, or they're on their, high flying because they're high as a kite, oh, yes, we won. Just do the BioTouch. Let's just neutralize for a moment this
Yep.
wacky emotional roller coaster ride. And then let's
Yeah.
see what happens. Let's talk to one
Yeah.
another about what happens when we just calm down for a moment and just love one another with touch. So we have ways to learn it. Again, we have a practitioner training virtual one coming up this weekend. If you want to join us, go to justtouch.com. Otherwise, you can learn it yourself. You can get the ebook version of the manual, has links to the video, shows you how to do it. Or just send us an email, office@justtouch.com, and let's truly bring some light to the situation. Let's help us all wake
Absolutely.
up to what we all, as Bev has just said, is innate with all of us. Just that simple thing called love.
Right on, Paul.
Right on, Bev. And right on, everybody. Thank you for allowing us to come into your life. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Have a great week.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind, and the pain is too much. What we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.